Hey guys, it's Misty, and it's time for my December Stack of 5. If you're unfamiliar with Stack of 5, basically I show you 5 books that have been hanging out on my shelves for far too long, and you guys vote on which one you want me to read and do a video review of for the month. This month's theme was going to be wintry books, icy, snow-covered books, but when I started pulling the books, they just weren't calling to me, so I decided instead that since December is going to be my open month, I'm reading whatever I want this month, that gives me time to kind of tackle some of the books that I have been put off from tackling because they're gigantic. So this month's theme is big ol' books. Basically, these are all books that did sound good to me, but they're so long that in a normal month I look at them and think, there's no way I have time for that. So they've just been sitting on my shelves, and even though some of them are ones that I really want to read and even consider picking up sometimes, I just haven't been able to mentally take on that giant book challenge. So December's free month. Even though it's a chaotic month and I normally don't get through much in December, at least I can tackle one of these big books. So the books are Eon by Alison Goodman, which clocks in at 531 pages. This one is one that I was very excited for right from the beginning, not only because this cover really drew me in and I had finally decided to give dragons a try, but also because it hits on one of my buzzwords, which is gender bender. This one features a girl dressed up as a boy trying to become what's called a dragon eye, and I love me a good gender bender story, which I think most of you know. Excited for this one, and Iona, which I also have, but they're chunkers, and I haven't taken it on yet. Next up is Nevermore by Kelly Cray, which clocks in at 543 pages. I'm gonna be honest, this one totally caught my eye because of cover appeal, but I probably never would have bought it on the synopsis because it sounded really just emo and over the top and just not something that would actually appeal to me. But then when the reviews started coming out, I had a lot of friends whose tastes I trust who really, really liked this one. So it kind of changed my mind and makes me think there's more to it. So figured I'd buy it and give it a try, but it's a beast, so I haven't yet. Next up is Grave Mercy, which comes in at 549, I think. Ooh, they go right up to the very last page. 549. This one, again, something I'm almost positive I'll like. It's about a group of assassin nuns, which sounds both completely absurd and so awesome. So I had to have this one. Nearly pre-ordered it because it sounded so good and was getting insanely good reviews. But again, it's a chunker, and I have not tackled it yet. In what is probably the biggest of the stack, next up is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. A couple of people pushed it on me with the sort of vehemence that I think if we had been in the same room they would have actually physically held me down and forced me to read it. That kind of passionate book push always kind of piques my interest. And the people that were doing the pushing, Jessica Day George and Elizabeth from Strange and Random Happenstance, I trust both of their opinions and their tastes in books, so when they said they liked it, I figured, yes, I'll probably like it. When they started pushing it like I was a crazy person for not having read it, I realized I had to get it. So I went ahead and I bought it right away, but you guys, this is like 800 and something pages. Did I tell you how many pages it was? Because it's a lot. 846 pages. And though I'm sure they're a good 846 pages, that's a commitment. It hasn't happened yet, but every time that one of them talks about it or I see their reviews pop up or someone comment on something, it kind of like brings that excitement again that made me go immediately and buy it. So I'm excited, but man. And lastly, Terrier, the first book in the Becca Cooper series by Tamara Pierce, which clocks in at 563 pages, over 580 if you count all of the notes and things at the end, which I always feel the need to read, so 580-ish. I am a huge fan of Tamara Pierce. I've said that many times. I'm sure I will like it. I always love her, but it's a big book. I'm also a little worried because the rest of the series is just as big, and I think if I love this one, I'm gonna want to jump into the rest of them immediately, which might mean I'm not taking on 600 pages, but, you know, 2,000 something pages. So I don't know if I'm ready for that, but I am excited for this one, so it had to go in the stack. Alright, so those are the books. I didn't want to make this video super long, so I didn't give you the excerpts in this video because I wanted to talk a little bit about the books and the length of them and all of that. But I know some of you like to vote based on the excerpt, so if you'd like to hear a little bit from each book before you make your decision, I've got a little bonus video for you. You can click there and check those out. And I also have links to all of the books below, so you can use that to help you make your choice too. But if you're ready to vote, once again, those books are Terrier, a middle grade epic fantasy coming in at almost 600 pages. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, a Regency era story of magic coming in at over 800 pages. Grave Mercy, an epic fantasy about assassin nuns coming in at over 550 pages. Nevermore, a contemporary paranormal story coming in at just about 550 pages. And Eon, an epic gender-bending fantasy coming in at just over 500 pages. So those are the books. Voting is open until November 30th, and you can vote in the comments on YouTube or on the blog, so you do get 2 votes, and the winner will be announced in my December TBR. Again, if you want to see the excerpts, you can click on this video and take a listen to the beginning of each of the books. And of course, you're welcome to do your own stack of 5 if you need help deciding what to read this month, or you want to take on the topic of big fat books. And if you do, leave me a link and I will come vote. That's all for now. As always, thanks for watching and happy reading!